For most of their adult lives, the majority of men have been infected with the same mental virus, a virus that makes them look at themselves in the shower, in the locker room, in the reflection of a shop window, and ask the same anxious question, am I big enough? This obsession with size, this secret anxiety passed down from generation to generation, is the greatest self-deception in the history of relationships between men and women. The brutal truth is that while you are focusing on inches, you are overlooking miles. You are trying to assess the engine's horsepower, completely forgetting about who's behind the wheel. Today, we're going to burn this virus out with a red-hot iron. I will prove to you that for a woman, the perfect penis is not a piece of flesh with specific characteristics. It's a direct extension of the man who controls it. His will, his confidence, his attention, and his skill. Even good old Freud hinted that a man's anxiety about size isn't about sex, but about a subconscious fear of inadequacy in general. Well, today, we are going to destroy that inadequacy. I'm not going to give you cliché advice. I'm going to give you a system. We will dissect the 7 qualities of a master, qualities that turn any man, even the most ordinary one, into an object of female admiration. And in the finale, I'll reveal the 8th secret, an anatomical cheat code that is more important than all the inches combined. This knowledge is dangerous because it gives you an unfair advantage. But you're ready for it. What you learn today will divide your life into before and after. But I must warn you, this knowledge is complex. If you don't listen to the end, you risk taking a dangerous half-truth out of context. Therefore, before we begin, I ask you to hit the like button on this video as a sign of your serious intentions. And if you're new here and ready for the complete, honest picture of the world, subscribe right now, because on this channel, we don't play games. And before we dive deep, your geography is very important to me. It helps me understand who I'm working for. Please write in the comments what city you're from. Just a couple of words. Thank you. Part 1. The Foundation, the Master's Psychology. We begin with the most important thing. Not with techniques, not with positions, but with what's happening inside your head. Because every house is built on a foundation. If your foundation is fear and insecurity, you can only build a house of cards that will collapse at her first sigh of disappointment. The master's foundation is his psychology. It rests on 3 pillars. Quality number 1, confident. He doesn't doubt himself. What this really means. Confidence is not arrogance, not bragging, and not aggression. True male confidence in bed is inner silence. It's the complete absence of the question in your head. Am I doing everything right? It's a calm, unshakable knowledge that you are where you belong and you know what you're doing. It is a state, not an action. Why it works like a magnet. A woman's body is the most sensitive lie detector in the world. Her limbic system, her ancient brain, reads her insecurity in a fraction of a second. If you doubt yourself, she begins to doubt you. If you're afraid you're not good enough, she instinctively senses danger. Not physical danger, but reproductive danger. She feels that she's with a hesitant teenager, not the leader of the pack. Your confidence is a signal of safety for her. A signal that allows her to turn off her ever-analyzing brain, relax, and completely surrender to the flow of sensations. She can't control this. It's pure biochemistry. Your confidence in your masculinity is her ultimate aphrodisiac. That's the biggest mistake most men make. A man lacking confidence constantly seeks external validation. He looks into her eyes not to see passion, but to read a performance report. He asks the most lethal question in the history of intimacy. Do you like it? This question instantly shatters all the magic. It shifts the responsibility for your ego onto her. A master never asks. He sees. He feels. He knows. Your revelation. Your confidence is not what you show. It's what you are. Stop thinking about how you look from the outside. Focus on your sensations, on her sensations, on the energy between you. When you are completely immersed in the process, there's simply no room for doubt. You are the process. And it's precisely this state that she reads as absolute primal masculinity. Quality number 2, attentive. He listens to her body, not his own plan. The essence of this quality. Most men enter the bedroom with a pre-made plan in their heads. This plan might be a scene from a movie, a memorized sequence of actions, or simply the desire to reach the finish line as quickly as possible. This is the path of a performer. A master, however, enters the bedroom like a musician at a jam session. He doesn't have a prepared score. He has his instrument, his ear, and a partner. His plan is to listen to his partner and create a unique melody together, right here and now. How this works on a deeper level. The great psychologist Carl Jung spoke of the anima, the unconscious feminine side in every man. It is this part that is responsible for intuition, empathy, and the ability to feel, not just think. An attentive man is one who has allowed his anima to come to the forefront. He doesn't just interact with a woman's body. He engages in a dialogue with her soul through her body. Her body is constantly talking to you. The language of this dialogue is not words. It's her breath. Has it deepened or has she held it? It's the tension in her muscles. Have her hips moved towards you or frozen? It's a soft moan that's different from the last one. There are hundreds of micro-signals that an ignorant man ignores, but a master reads like an open book. He is not just a performer. He is a translator of her body's language. The biggest mistake. Following a porn script. Thinking that all women are built the same and that what worked with one will work with another. Or even worse, that what you've seen on screen has any relation to reality. That's like trying to navigate Paris using a map of New York. The only result will be disappointment and a feeling of total loneliness for two. Your revelation. She doesn't want to be the object of your actions. She wants to be your co-creator. She dreams of a man who won't just use her body for his pleasure, but will explore it with her, as if it were the greatest mystery in the universe. Stop being a performer. Become an explorer. Your attention is the most precious gift you can give her. Quality number 3, generous. His main goal is her pleasure. What true generosity and intimacy is. It is not a favor. It is not a sacrifice. True generosity is a position of power. A man who primarily seeks to give her pleasure demonstrates not weakness, but abundance. His behavior seems to say, I have so much energy, so much strength, so much desire, that I can easily fill you to the brim and still have more to give. This is the position of a giver, not a beggar, the psychological mechanism of this phenomenon. Here, the fundamental law of human relationships comes into play, the law of reciprocity. A man who desperately tries to get his own is like a beggar pleading for alms. A woman might give him something, but should do it out of pity or a sense of duty. A man who generously showers her with pleasure becomes a king in her eyes. And a woman who has been gifted by a king will unconsciously, at the level of her most ancient instincts, want to thank him like a king. How this changes everything. When her ecstasy becomes your main goal, magic happens. You stop worrying about yourself. The fear of not performing well or finishing too quickly disappears. Your ego takes a back seat. You become an observer and the creator of her pleasure. And the paradox is that in this very moment, when you forget about yourself, you experience the deepest, most all-consuming pleasure of your life, because you receive not only a physical release, but also a powerful emotional charge from witnessing her happiness. A common mistake. Perceiving intimacy as a transaction. I do this for you. You do that for me. This approach kills all sensuality and turns a sacred act into a market exchange. Generosity cannot be part of a deal. It is unconditional. You give because you enjoy the act of giving, not because you expect something in return. And it is this selflessness that ignites in her the reciprocal desire to give you everything, the main revelation for you. Shift your focus from getting to giving. Stop being a consumer of her body and become an investor in her pleasure. This simple paradigm shift will transform you from an average lover into a man whose memory she will cherish for years. Because in a world of egoists, a man who knows how to give is the rarest of treasures. Part 2. The Art of Performance, the Master's Technique. If psychology is the foundation, then technique is the walls and roof of your temple of pleasure. Without a foundation, even the most technically skilled performer will seem empty and mechanical. But you can't get far on a foundation alone. The art of performance isn't about acrobatics or memorizing hundreds of positions. It's about 3 other qualities that separate a craftsman from a genius. Quality number 4, dominant. He leads without asking what healthy dominance is. Let's separate the wheat from the chaff right away. Dominance is not aggression, not violence, and not humiliation. It's not about hurting her or ignoring her desires. True dominance is a gentle but unyielding force. It's taking responsibility for the process. It's the ability to be the director of her pleasure, confidently guiding her through a script of passion that you create in real time. Why she secretly wants this. The modern world has placed a huge burden of responsibility on women. She has to make decisions at work, at home, with the children. Her brain is constantly analyzing, planning, controlling. Intimacy is one of the few areas where she dreams of shedding this burden. She wants to give control to a reliable, strong partner she trusts. Your confident dominance is a gift. You allow her to turn off her neocortex, her thinking brain, and immerse herself in a world of pure instincts and sensations. How this manifests in practice. A dominant man doesn't ask, "Can I do this?" He just does it. He confidently changes positions when he feels the moment is right. He sets the rhythm rather than adapting to her indecisiveness. He might masterfully hold her hands above her head, look into her eyes, and slow down the pace, showing who's in charge. He leads her in this dance, and she follows with gratitude because she feels safe. The key mistake: confusing dominance with selfishness. A selfish man does what he wants, ignoring her. A dominant master does what she wants, but what she's afraid or too shy to ask for. He leads her to her own pleasure. His dominance is attentive. He constantly reads her reactions. If he sees the slightest signal of discomfort, he immediately changes tactics. His goal is not submission, but her liberation, your revelation. Stop being passive. A woman doesn't want to be your instructor in bed. She wants to be a violin in the hands of a master. Your job is to learn to play that violin so that it produces divine music. Take the initiative. Be the leader. Your confidence in the leading role is the key that unlocks the most secret doors of her sensuality. Quality number 5, musical. He feels the rhythm. What is musicality in sex? Imagine you're listening to a great piece of music. It's never monotonous. It has slow, languid intros, crescendos, explosive climaxes, and gentle, fading finales. Sex is the same kind of music, and a woman's body is the most sensitive musical instrument. Musicality is your innate or acquired sense of rhythm. It's the ability to change the pace, depth, and intensity of your movements depending on what stage of arousal your partner is in. Why monotony is the killer of passion. Most men operate like a broken metronome. They find one comfortable rhythm and pound away in it from start to finish. This is the quickest way to exhaust her nervous system. Her body simply gets used to the uniform stimulation and stops responding to it. It's like trying to tell a captivating story in a monotone, emotionless voice. The content might be interesting, but the delivery will kill it. How to develop a musical ear. Start listening. Listen to her breathing. When it quickens, you can speed up the pace a bit. When she holds her breath, it's time to slow down, pause, switch from deep movements to shallow ones. Listen to her moans. Are they getting higher and shorter? That means you're approaching the peak. Listen to her body. Is she moving towards you? Increase the pressure. Has she tensed up? Decrease the intensity. Let her catch her breath. The biggest mistake: thinking that faster and harder always means better. This is the most common male myth. Often, it's slowing down, almost coming to a complete stop at the deepest point, that drives a woman far wilder than frantic thrusting. The pause is just as powerful a musical instrument as the movement itself. Use contrasts, from slow and deep to fast and animalistic, from gentle rocking to powerful, confident thrusts. Your revelation. You are the conductor of the symphony orchestra of her sensations. Your task is not just to wave a baton, but to control the dynamics. Play with the tempo. Experiment with the rhythm. Turn a mechanical process into a thrilling musical journey. A man who masters the art of rhythm will never be a boring lover. He will be a maestro whose concert she will want to return to again and again. Quality number 6. Inventive. He uses his entire arsenal. What this quality means: an inventive man understands one simple truth. Nature gave him not one instrument for pleasure, but an entire orchestra. And his penis is just one of those instruments, say, the double bass. Powerful, important, setting the foundation. But trying to play an entire symphony on a double bass alone is foolish. The master knows that his main arsenal includes his hands, lips, tongue, voice, and even just his gaze. Why this is critically important for her. A woman's body is not one erogenous zone, but a whole treasure map. Her skin, neck, ears, back, inner thighs, all are entry points into the world of her pleasure. A man fixated only on genital contact is ignoring 90% of this map. He's trying to crack a safe by hitting it with a sledgehammer, while the master is picking the locks on dozens of small chests that open the main door. What this looks like in practice. An inventive lover begins his symphony long before the main act. He uses his hands to explore her body, not just stroking, but studying every curve. He uses his lips and tongue to leave fiery trails on her neck, collarbones, stomach. He uses his voice, whispering in her ear what she wants to hear, creating the right emotional mood. By the time it comes to the main event, her body is already singing and vibrating with anticipation. Look, we've already covered 6 qualities, and each one is a topic for a separate book. It's for this depth that people come to this channel. If you feel that this approach resonates with you, if you're tired of superficial advice, then now is the best time to subscribe and become part of our community. The biggest mistake? Treating foreplay as a formality, a warm-up before the main course. For a woman, there is no warm-up. For her, it's all one seamless, continuous act. Every touch, every kiss is already part of the act. A man who rushes to get down to business signals only one thing to her: I'm not interested in your world. I only need one place in it. This is a path to failure, your revelation. Stop thinking of sex as a destination. Start thinking of it as a journey. Your task is to make every minute of that journey unforgettable. Use all your instruments. Be an artist, painting a picture of passion on her body. And remember, a woman doesn't fall in love with a double bass. She falls in love with the virtuoso conductor who commands the entire orchestra. Part 3. The highest level, secret knowledge. We have reached the summit. We have analyzed psychology and technique. But there are two more elements that separate a merely good lover from the man she will call the best of her life. These are qualities that cannot be faked. They require not physical strength, but strength of spirit. This is the highest level. Quality number 7. Present. He is here and now, in body and soul. What presence is? It is the rarest and most valuable quality in the modern world. To be present means to be 100% in the current moment. It means that when you are with her, your mind is not on problems at work, unpaid bills, or tomorrow's meeting. All your consciousness, all your attention is focused on one point: the woman in front of you. You don't just look at her. You see her. You don't just listen to her. You hear her. Why this is more powerful than any physical pleasure. In a moment of intimacy, a woman gives you her most sacred possession, her vulnerability. And what she fears more than anything is that in that moment, you won't be with her. That your body is here, but your thoughts are thousands of miles away. When she catches your wandering gaze, when she feels you're mechanically going through the motions while thinking about something else, she experiences it as a betrayal. Conversely, when she looks into your eyes and sees your complete, undivided attention on her, she feels like the most desired woman in the universe. This feeling is more intoxicating than any orgasm. How to practice presence. This is a skill that needs to be trained like a muscle. Start with something simple: your breath. Concentrate on the sensation of your own breathing, and then on hers. Feel how your chests rise and fall. Focus on tactile sensations, the texture of her skin, the warmth of her body, the way her hair touches your face. Look into her eyes. Don't just look, but try to see the color of her soul. The more you focus on the sensory details of the moment, the less room there is in your head for extraneous thoughts. The key mistake: thinking about the result. As soon as you start thinking, will I succeed? Am I good enough? Will she finish soon? You fall out of the moment. You cease to be a participant and become a student taking an exam. This fear of evaluation is the main enemy of presence. A master doesn't think about the goal. He enjoys the process. He is so immersed in the beauty and energy of the moment that the result comes naturally. As a consequence of this complete union, your revelation. Ultimately, a woman doesn't just want your body. She wants your soul. She wants your attention. This is the scarcest resource in the 21st century. By giving her your full 100% presence, you are giving her something that no other man, obsessed with his own thoughts and anxieties, can give her. This is the highest form of intimacy, creating not just a physical connection, but a spiritual union. Secret No. 8. The key to the lock. Geometry, not size E, and now the culmination. The reason we're all here. We've dissected the 7 qualities of a master, 7 pillars of psychology and technique. But there is an 8th element, an element that lies in the plane of pure physiology. It's something that isn't talked about. It's the anatomical cheat code that gives some men an unfair natural advantage. But knowledge is power, and today you will receive that power. What is the forbidden truth? Your whole life, you've been taught that the main parameter of a man's member is length. But this is a lie imposed by the adult film industry. Imagine a lock and a key. Would a long, but perfectly straight piece of metal be a good key? No. A good key is one whose shape perfectly matches the geometry of the lock. The same applies here. The key to the peak of her pleasure is not length, but geometry, the anatomy of her pleasure. Let's be clinical, almost medically precise. The most sensitive area inside a woman's body, the so-called G-spot, is not located deep inside, but on the front wall, about 2 to 3 inches from the entrance. This means that most standard straight-line movements simply miss it. A man can be a true giant, but if his key is straight, he will be knocking on the wrong door, leaving her with a feeling of emptiness and disappointment. Here is the cheat code. Nature has created the perfect key. It is a male organ that has a natural, noticeable upward curve. This banana-like curve is not a defect, but a gift. During movement, such a key, naturally thrust by thrust, applies precise and targeted pressure on that very coveted spot. This is the anatomical hack that allows some men to easily bring a woman to the most intense, deep orgasms, even without possessing outstanding size. What if you have a straight key? Don't despair. Knowledge is your superpower. If nature didn't give you a curved key, you can create the necessary angle of attack yourself with the right positions. Remember the main rule. Your goal is to ensure maximum contact of his base with her pubic bone. This will automatically create the right angle. The most effective positions for this are the classic missionary, but with a pillow placed under her buttocks. This will lift her pelvis. The cowgirl position, where she is on top and can control the angle and depth herself. And of course, the position from behind, or doggy style, which provides maximum contact and stimulation of the front wall. Your main revelation. Stop looking at the ruler. Start thinking like an engineer. Your task is not to break down a wall, but to find the key to the lock. Understand her anatomy. Use positions that work for you, not against you. Knowledge of the geometry of pleasure instantly puts you head and shoulders above 99% of men who still blindly believe in the myth of inches. Conclusion. Stop measuring. Start understanding. We've come a long way. We started by demolishing the primary male fear and ended by revealing the ultimate female secret. We've proven that confidence is more important than inches. Attention is more important than force. Generosity is more important than egoism. That dominance, musicality, and inventiveness are not innate talents, but skills that can and should be developed. We've understood that your complete presence in the moment is the most valuable gift you can offer her. And we've learned that geometry beats size. That knowledge of anatomy and the right positions can compensate for any natural shortcomings. 7 qualities of a master and 1 secret key. This is the code to female pleasure. It is not a set of tricks. It is a complete philosophy. The philosophy of a man who has stopped being an anxious teenager and has become a mature master. A man who understands that true power is not in taking, but in giving. Not in proving, but in feeling. By mastering these principles, you will cease to be just a lover. You will become the source of her pleasure. You will become the man she will always remember, regardless of the assets nature has given you. Because she won't remember your body. She will remember what you made her body and her soul feel. Today, I've shared a system with you that has changed the lives of thousands of men. But I know that wisdom is a collective intelligence. And now, the main question for you, for the mature and experienced men who form the core of this channel. What is the one most important piece of advice, based on your life experience, that you would give to your 20-year-old self in this delicate area? Let's collect a true encyclopedia of male wisdom in the comments under this video. Your experience could help someone right now.